Till in 2007, Jon Lovitz confronted Andy Dick at a restaurant, where Dick claimed he put the Phil Hartm hex on Lovitz, stating he was the next to die. Lovitz and Dick then had a heated encounter, resulting in Lovitz demanding an apology and eventually smashing Dick's head into the bar. Andy Dick is the worst celebrity I've ever had the displeasure of meeting. He was a headliner for the Bridgetown Comedy Festival back in the day. He was horrible. His finale was pulling his penis out on stage for everyone. My friends and I were reviewing the festival and one asked me my high and lowlights. I loudly said Andy Dick was my lowlight, and he happened to be right behind me, and threatened to fight me out in public. Told him his set was fucking awful and his security got in front of him while he screamed. I'd rate his stand-up 0 stars, with not one to ever see again. I'm kind of surprised Trump never thought to have the Justice Department throw the book at him while he was president on account of Andy Dick groping his daughter's leg on live television. I'd completely understand a bipartisan effort to throw Andy Dick in jail. He groped an Uber driver and was made a sex offender because of that in 2018, and then got arrested later for failing to register as a sex offender. Sounds to me like it's taken him a long while for Andy Dick's joke gropes to finally ban him from playgrounds. I've come around to thinking this is a bullshit take on drug addicts. Being on coke didn't make her kill her husband, her being an asshole did that. Shifting the blame to Andy Dick is ignoring that this is a full-grown adult making multiple bad, selfish choices. He didn't trick her into doing drugs and ruining her marriage. If you're going to hate Andy Dick, hate him for the horrible shit he actually did. Yay Andy Dick, the dick in his head smashed. Yay, as far as I'm concerned, if some kind of crazy strong 3-year-old girl made it her business daily to smash the head of Dick the Dick, it would merely be cosmic justice being rendered on an ongoing basis, a never-to-end basis. Yay, smash in the head of Dick the Dad 5-5. Yay, good times. Yay. Once night in LA in the 90s, Andy Dick came into a men's room behind me and opened his jacket and, like a fucking cartoon, there were 10 different pockets on the inside of his liner with different drugs in each one. I was already drunk and high and declined. He also bought a Woodstock Repro Street sign from my yard sale. Not reading all the comments, and I'm sure it's been mentioned by another poster that lives in Hollywood, but Andy Dick is almost a meme for being a known creep, pedo, drinks, biker, stalker, invite himself to house parties where he knows no one sort of, several times over. Andy Dick is the one who gave Phil Hartman's wife cocaine at a Christmas party, who he knew was a recovering addict, which led to her downward spiral that led to Phil's death. Given the context of Dick's comment, Lovitz showed great restraint in just bashing his head against the bar. I mean, I'm sure I'll get DV to heck, but Jon Lovitz was a real peen to Norah Dunn when she wouldn't work with Andrew Dice Clay and went on media to talk about what a pig she was and that she was doing this for publicity. Sir P80 is probably worse. They're both dicks. Lovitz voted T-Rump in 2016 and defended himself about it. He was clear in his statements about hating Obama as well. He called him an asshole. Andy Dick has always been a piece of shit. These cunts are just 2 peas in a pod. I know this isn't relevant, but years back I was driving through Beverly Hills and pulled up to a light. I looked to my right to see Lovitz knuckle deep in his nose. I don't know if he ever found what he was looking for, but he was on a mission. Apparently, it was Andy Dick that gave Hartman's wife some drugs after she had been sober for how long? Not long after, she murdered Phil. For Andy to call it the Hartman curse is fucking terrible, considering his involvement in it all. Andy Dick needs to be curb-stomped with a force equivalent to the amount of drugs he's both consumed and given to others, leading to the deaths of far more decent and talented human beings than himself. Textbook example of a garbage human being. This is at the top of the list of reasons I think Jon Lovitz is base as fuck. Admittedly, he's an awesome, funny, talented dude who has brought a lot of joy to me entertaining myself and others, but this is some king shit right here. Jon Lovitz is goated in my friend circle. The Critic and High School High alone are great. I follow a new page that's just red carpet premieres and Lovitz is legit at like 90 of those premieres. Lol, put some respect on his name. 100. This is outrageous. Jon Lovitz punched out Andy Dick and there is no video. Now, I just have to imagine the shocked look on Dick's face as he thinks so. These are the consequences of my own actions and his head hits the bar. Fuck Jon Lovitz. Always have been a fan of Dick, and thought this was nothing more than some light-hearted banter. Lovitz needs to chill out and take a seat at the kiddie table while the grown-ups enjoy real comedy. This is now an approved Andy Dick bashing thread. Truly hopes he rots in hell for what he did to Brand Phil. The piece of shit doesn't even deserve to live for all the hurt he has caused to so many. It's such a strange quirk of timing. If any of that had happened only 6 months later, it would probably be one watched videos online. especially such Andy has really earned his last name. For the sake of brevity, responses to this should be limited only to those who don't want to smash Andy Dick's head into a bar. Which means that by my standards I shouldn't be replying. Dick is a hideously disturbed person. There's also more to the story. Lovitz and many others knew that Dick helped Hartman's wife relapse on drugs, which led to her killing Hartman. Steve Jobs was so mad that no one caught this and he would never get to see it that he insisted on adding a camera to the iPhone. This is why smartphones have cameras. I had no idea who he or Andy Dick was, but the rabbit hole I fell into when I read Andy's wiki. JFC. What a trash human. Jon should slam him into the bar more often. Jon Lovitz is one of the most underrated actors to ever exist. His style of comedy is so perfectly original. The fact he beat the piss out of Andy is 100 even better. When I first heard the story I felt sorry for Dick. Then I learned more about him. I can confidently say there's nothing about that human I don't hate. He is vile. TIL. Today I didn't learn shit because this post reads like it was written by Chad after doing cooking. Do you people just not proofread at all? I don't see celebrities often. In fact, I rarely see celebrities anywhere. But I have seen Andy Dick removed from 2 separate establishments 75 miles apart. I wish there was a video of that. For all the mundane bullshit that celebrities get filmed doing, they really dropped the ball the one time we needed them. Andy Dick had given Phil Hartman's wife drugs when she'd been sober a long time, ending in her murdering Hartman. This is why Lovitz hated Dick so much. Awesome. I met Jon once at a Petco in a nice part of town. He was really nice and told me he liked my baby pit bull. This was maybe 15-16 years ago. Sometimes, I wonder how people have gotten famous despite going above and beyond the usual Hollywood douchebaggery. Andy Dick is one of those people. Andy Dick used to run rampant at the Red Robin in the promenade in Temecula. Used to always see him there way too drunk and way too handsy. Sounds right for Andy Dick. Shame he was one of my favorite castings of all time when he played Jesus in Mary Shelley's Frankenhole on Adult Swim. Pretty sure this fight was actually over Andy Dick giving cocaine to Phil Hartman's wife. The end result was her killing Phil in his sleep. I've never understood why Andy Dick is famous. He's a scummy, abusive asshole who just annoys every living thing he comes in contact with. During this encounter, I envisioned Jon Lovitz saying in the voice of the critic, "Take that. And that. And that." Andy Dick currently lives in a California meth town, was arrested for failure to register as a sex offender and stealing power tools. I rarely condone violence, but smashing Andy Dick's head into a bar has to be one of the most satisfying feelings in the world. There is something wrong with your cow. I reached under there and I'm pulling, tugging, pulling, nothing, not a drop. Jon Lovitz interviews are the best. He doesn't give a fuck about anything. Reddit loves this anecdote so much and brings it up so often that I'm compelled to think that it never actually happened. The only thing I'm learning here is the belligerents acted precisely as expected, and that all is right with the world. I would so much rather have Phil Hartman than Andy Dick, and I think that's what a lot of these arguments boil down to. Have run into both when I lived in LA. Andy Dick at Amoeba Hollywood and Jon Lovitz outside Crave in Sherman Oaks. Andy Dick deserves to be kicked in his namesake at every opportunity. He is a shit and a sexual predator. Lovitz was drinking a peach liqueur at the bar right before the incident. How is this so incredibly believable? I'm just glad a shouting match between 2 middle-aged men over a non-existent curse ended in physical violence. Pretty sure Lovitz and the cast of SNL at the time also blamed Dick for giving Farley full access to drugs. Seems like Dick was addicted to Jon, then Jon smashed Dick on the bar. Jon's okay. Not sure about the Dick. This will forever be in the top of my list of moments in history I wish had been recorded on camera. If I'm not mistaken, their beef is because Lovitz blames Dick for the overdose death of a friend. Jon Lovitz is a hero and I would like to buy him a drink to thank him for that act of service. This ended way better than I thought it was taking us. Good for Andy Dick. I mean Jon. Aha! Andy Dick should have his head slammed into a bar every damn day, right after he wakes up. This is why, on the off chance I ever see Lovitz, I will insist on buying the man a drink. I don't agree with Lovitz so much, but I agree with him smashing Dick's head in the bar. It wasn't like that at all. He slipped on a cocktail napkin. Yeah, that's a ticket. I just read all of Andy Dick's incidents on his wiki page. Goddamn, what a giant plus. I'm so glad that I watched all of News Radio without knowing anything about the cast. One day Andy Dick will see what a big horny bird actually looks like. In hell. Andy Dick's picture is in the German dictionary next to Backpfeifengesicht. I hope that Lovitz threatened them with the stinging blades of the windmill. Lovitz is the best. He is good friends with my friend's dad. He is super nice. I have no idea who or what any of them are. A curse? Is this person an idiot? Rarely someone deserve his name more than Dick. I just can't stand that guy. Andy Dick is fucking disgusting as a person, and a registered sex offender. Good, if I ever see Andy Dick I'll smash his face into whatever is handy too. What's the proof for this story? Has Lovitz or Dick ever spoken about it? That's the ticket. I was reading that Lovitz did forgive him recently. This is cause Andy Dick sold his friend pills that made him odd, right? Smashing Dick's head into the bar. Dick's head got smashed. Just another reason love a true American treasure such as Jon Lovitz. Man, whenever I smash my dick head into the bar I just get kicked out. A smash a dickhead. B smash Dick's head. See all of the above. Lovitz, indeed, showed Dick how much of a dickhead he was. Lol. Smiley face. No, he smashed his dick head on the bar. You got it wrong. I don't feel you really need a reason to smack Andy Dick's head. Lovitz didn't just do it for Phil, he did it for all of us. Crying face. I have no idea who any of these people are and what this means. Andy Dick is the most appropriately named person in history. Why can't we normalize sending nooses to Andy Dick's house? He's losing his mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits. JL. He's losing his mind and I'm reaping all the benefits. Despite that, both of them are still alive 16 years later. And that's why Lovitz is a goddamned national treasure. He's losing his mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits. This makes me love Jon Lovitz more than I already did. Fucking hilarious and Rat Race and The Wedding Singer. Am I the only one who don't know any of these people?